I just don't know who's competing. So then you could do a whole preview, and then you have to backtrack and say this person's not going to be in, and this person ran 2 races and then shut it down. Because there's the people who, and you know this, Gordon. I'm not telling you that you don't know, but there's the people who run the season, but then don't go to the championships. And then there's the people who do the entire thing. And that's two groups of people. So even if someone is running a bunch of early season meets, maybe they're showing up to Clemson, maybe they're running in Arkansas, run some college meets, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go to USA's and then to Belgrade. You just don't know, because then you start running into track, and world champs are early this year. There's a lot of reasons why they would opt out.
Don't you think the fact that this is a conversation, will we do indoors? Will you not? Oh, you're running into
Yeah,
track. It's
yeah,
literally the sport that they're already doing. Um, I think it shows that indoors isn't what it
hmm
what fans want it to be. Fans want to be treated like a legitimate season, like people get
hmm
up for, that winning matters, losing matters.
yeah,
Uh, but unfortunately, obviously, it matters at the indoor level almost, because you throw in a cross country meet, and all of a sudden, all the most of the indoor athletes are like, "No, we're just going to skip that and go do cross country."
right.
But for the most part, in college, the best of the best attempt to peak for indoors. But the pros, they don't. And I think, I mean, it just goes to show that our sport's kind of not set up the right way, and it's not the correct incentive. It's too much incentivized on one weekend, 1 week in August or in July, aka USA's and or World Outdoors, that we try to build up these other championships, but the athletes aren't doing it, right? We're gonna have them like, oh no, I'm using indoors my base phase to get ready for
Yeah.
outdoors. Like, no one is
Well,
saying
that's
I am, using the the uh the Eastern Conference Finals as my base phase before the NBA Finals, right? This doesn't
Well,
happen
they
like that
are
though.
cruising. Hold on. To be fair, though, they are cruising through a big part of the NBA season, and the same thing you don't see it in football, but you definitely see it in the leagues that have more games. They do cruise, and I think the problem is
Yeah.
you slap U.S. champs and world champs labels on these things, and we expect okay they're going to go all in for them. But the reality is this is just prep for outdoors. And if those championship labels weren't on there, then we'd be like, okay, cool. We saw so and so run 3 or 4 times indoors. That was like the beginning part of their season, and then they kept going. But
Yeah.
because there's a championship and medals attached, we expect everybody to go all in. But they don't see it the same way. I mean, I don't really blame them because that's not how the season's set up. Of course, are there indoor Olympics, Gordon?
There are no indoor Olympics,
So there you go. You can only care so much
unfortunately.
about it then. Yeah.
Maybe. Do you think we'll
All
ever
right.
get an indoor Olympics
No, and I don't think there should
during
be.
winter?
You're a bigger indoor guy because you're a Northeast guy. So you grew up with indoor
Okay.
being a bigger fixture.
Yeah.
I like it. It's cool. It's fine, but I just see it as extra added on, right? Because you have whole events that aren't included and whole events that are drastically different than they would be outdoors. So to me, if we could do outdoors all year round or outdoors starting in January and going through September, I'd be all about it. I get the necessity for it, but since I didn't really grow up with it, it wasn't a big a part of my upbringing in the sport
I mean, you gotta admit though, it would be cool if there was an indoor track meet every Winter Olympics every 4 years
on ice
on ice. No,
with all
not
that
on
skating.
ice. Just a legitimate indoor track meet. I get it. It's all, everyone has their ways of doing things. This is the way the world is. This is our system. We do it this way. We have Olympics, then worlds, then nothing, then worlds, then Olympics, then worlds, then nothing. That's what we do, and no one's ever going to change it, unfortunately.
hmm Yeah, I think if you look at it as, hey, we'll get to see from a fan's perspective, right? You get to see Coleman back. What does he have? You get to see Bromell. How's he looking early on in the season after how his year ended in 2021? Some of the milers that you talked about, right? Is anybody going to make a leap up and make a run? Hawker and Tier, they got the standard. Are they going to take advantage of that? Are they going to make a world team in their first attempt? That'd be a pretty big story. You look at it as that. It's all bonus for me.